Hey everybody, something a little different today. We've got Indian Scout Bobber. So these we're unable to do with Village Racing, but the client has bought Power Vision 3. So as you can see, this unit is from Dynajet, and basically it plugs into the OBD port. So this is Euro 5 connector, but it actually has like a harness that disconnects. So we'll plug this straight in, and then we can upload the ECU map and make some changes on here. And then we can also upload the mapping and load it in via Dynajet Power Core. And we can start tuning and modifying our map. So what I'll do is I will basically go into the mapping, run my bike, lock and load it on a cell, and then make my alterations to the fueling until I achieve the air fuel ratio I want. If we can split map, I will be doing that. However, I'm just going to start off with sampling one oxygen sensor for now, because as you can see, I don't know if you can, but there's a, oh wait, let me, just give me 1 sec, let me just get a torch. Come on, torch. Okay, so as you can see there is like a blanking plate, so I can't really put my there's another O2 over there, so I had to put this adapter in to be able to lock it in so that I can actually just, you see, hold it in there for now, just to read the air fuel ratio. So sorry for the shaky holding my phone, thinking I'm recording on my phone, I'm recording on the GoPro. You see, when you work too hard, what happens? You start losing track of things here. Anyway, so yeah, that's our Indian Scout Bobber. Never done one before, quite excited to see what it does on the pre-run. Stay tuned guys and enjoy it. Okay, so that was our pre-run on our Indian Scout Bobber. It's quite perky actually, and the fuel mixture isn't like excessively bad. Let's just take a look at our graph. So as you can see, I mean, it pulls pretty linear. The power, the torque kind of falls away at 6,000 RPMs, and the power just stays sort of like plateaus. So we'll see what's in there. I've never done one of these. As I said, never done an Indian, so it's the first time, but I'm very excited. Let's see. So our air fuel ratio, not too bad. We're looking at about 13.6. So it could go a bit richer there, and especially low down. Try and see if we can eliminate those O2 sensors, because those are obviously creating the bike to be very jerky and snatchy, because it's coming from an excessively lean mixture where you're cruising at around sort of 1,000 to 2,000 RPM. You know, this bike makes its torque quite low, and then obviously it goes richer and then lean again. So let's take a look at our specs. Sorry, I've got you on the tripod here. 68.3 horsepower and 89.4 Newton meters. That's the specs of this bike. I'll tell you the year model when I look. I don't even know, I think it's a 22 or 23 model. But yeah, let's see what we can do, and then we'll plug everything in. I'll familiarize myself, see if I need any license keys, and then we'll move forward. So it's quite nice and easy to get the seats off. You just kind of pop it. Eventually I'll get it. There we go. So yeah, it's just got a little pop clip there. So you just pop it off. If anyone doesn't know, looking for a seat lock, don't waste your time. Just a little pop off, and it hooks in the back with the forks. Done deal. Okay, so you can see when you put it on, it's obviously plugged in the OBD port, all power's up there, fancy Dynajet. And then it basically wants to upload the map. So it says searching for tune files. Yes, we want to upload the ECU map. Continue. Yes, okay. So now we're reading ECU. Don't know if you can see that. See? It's going to take a bit, but it's reading, so we'll get back. Okay, so we're busy writing in a file because we had to lock this unit to the ECU. So we've now locked this unit to the ECU, and I'm just loading in a base file that's got slip-on exhaust and a stock filter, and then I'll upload the map and start seeing how I can better that. I suppose any map will be better than stock because these things are jerky as hell low down. So yeah, we'll just finish up this right. It should take about 5 minutes, and then we'll get back in it and see what we're going to change, how we can upload it onto the PowerCore software, and then what we can edit and change. Apparently we can switch off O2s, change ignition timing, everything can be changed, same as Willage. So let's see what it's got. Okay, so I'm very excited now. So you can see there's our unit, it's linked to our ECU plug, and I've got it wired into my dyno computer. So what I've done is I've basically uploaded the stock file because we can't work on their tune files. So we have to work on the original file, then we can have full access. So now you can see these are all my maps. So I can go through, because you see I've opened up the stock file of the ECU. See it says STK. That's not a camshaft, by the way. And then yeah, so we got all our stuff there, drive-by-wire mapping, we've got our environment settings, fuel injector, idle, knock control, rev and speed limiters, sensors. We can change anything, torque limits. So now I can go in there and I can start setting all that up. I'm going to see what I can play with there, and then we will move forward. So yeah, the nice thing is when you know how to tune and you understand what you're working with, you can work on any fuel management system. So if you do standalone management or whatever you do, you just need to know what you're doing, be 100% sure you know what sensors what the stock voltages are meant to be for those sensors, so you can input them, so you can get correct like boost readings or whatever it is. Obviously it's naturally aspirated, so we're just working with the stock stuff. So I just want to pull up some mapping, make some fueling changes and ignition changes, and then obviously disable the closed loop, because the closed loop narrowband sensors is what's causing us all our problems here. So once we're done, then we'll move forward. Exciting. Okay, so there was a little bit of an anticlimax here, because the units, they only allow you to change certain functions. So the only thing I'd be able to do is alter the target AFR and mess with the volumetric efficiency maps, which I'm not going to do, because that volumetric efficiency is essentially how much actual, so the real amount of air that passes through an engine. So in other words, for an example, since if you got a 2-liter engine, theoretically that pumps 2 liters of air through the motor, but because of efficiency, that value is dramatically exaggerated. So you may have a 2-liter engine at full throttle, you're only pumping sort of like maybe say 1.6 or 1.7 liters of air through that engine. So volumetric efficiency is a calculation map based on how much actual air is passing through an engine. So if I change that map, yes, it will change my air fuel mixture, but what it will also do is change my short-term trims on my closed loop system, and that will cause endless problems for the bike to surge and jerk, do funny things. Yes, it may run okay or better, but it's not going to be right. So what I'm doing is I'm busy writing in one of the pre-made maps, and I'll just do a run and see if we can better it according to that. So if we can just get it running a bit better and smoother, and then the client will take the bike away and come back once my DynoJet dealer account is all sorted out. So once they've activated that and I'm able to go in and just, you know, work on the stock maps on the ECUs, then I'll be in a better position to tune it. Because yeah, one thing I can tell you is that I'm not up for doing half jobs. You know, I mean, if you change volumetric efficiency on a motor, it changes everything. Because your intake pressure sensor, your map sensor, manifold absolute pressure, reads the drop in 1 bar of pressure, because that's what we're breathing essentially. So anyway, I know this is all boring for you, or maybe not for some, but what happens is that it's going to see, oh, there's this much oxygen passing through my exhaust system, I need to add fuel to this mix. And then your intake pressure sensor is going to be like, hey, there's too much vacuum happening here. So okay, our flash is complete. So I'm going to put on the engine check lights. And we all love those, don't we? Anyway, let's run it and see what it does with this map. Hi guys, yeah, a little bit disappointing. The maps that they supply on the PowerVision 3, there's no other word for it, they shit. So basically every single map I loaded, so I went map 1, stop, map 2, stop. Every single map lost power. There's only one map that was relatively close to the stock power of, when I loaded the stock map, I eventually got 72.3 out of it after running it for a bit, just to cycle the O2. But to be honest, man, you can see that the bottom one is actually the after. That's how terrible it is. You can see there, it's actually lost power. So every time I ran the bike, it just got worse and worse and worse. So I loaded back the stock map and then basically just flashed in one, because it's got an open filter and the exhaust system. I just loaded in one that the air fuel ratio was richer, because you can see the air fuel ratio is richer on that map. So the client was complaining about the jerking and stuff was his biggest problem. So until DynoJet sorts my account out, where I can access the maps and make my own maps, I don't think we're going to do very well there. So anyway, I'm giving the bike back to the client until such time as I have access to do my job. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed that. Yeah, at least you know now, these maps made in America don't work here. Not down under. Anyway, see you around, man.